We have tons of stories to break down today. We discuss all things Mauricio Pochettino as he starts to make his influence known at this football club. Hear the latest news behind the squad during pre-season, as well as transfer targets that Mauricio Pochettino wants to sign. To move on, we discuss the big news today surrounding Wahi, the Montpellier Wonderkid striker that we are looking to make a bid to sign this window. So my friends, I hope you guys are happy to see me back again. Been gone these past 2 days, but I'm back now. And if you guys are really happy to see me, then hit that like button. If we can get over 3k likes, I'm going to know how you guys are really feeling about me. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's video. But before we go on, I've got one quick thing to say. Now today was the day we expected our new home kit for next season to be launched. But sadly, we can't buy the official kit until the 16th of August. Of course, the club displayed our new kit. It looks absolutely beautiful in my opinion. And I'm really loving it without the sponsor at this point in time. And if you guys... anyone watching this, if you know how I can get access to one of these shirts, let me know in the email and the comments, because I'm not going to lie, you guys, I'm looking to rock this throughout pre-season. But my friends, of course, it's a bit sad we can't buy it today, but let's not forget all the incredible training gear items that we've released for this pre-season. It's looking very nice. I'm waiting for my orders to come through soon so you guys can see me wearing the new kits. If you guys want to buy them for yourself, you'll find a link below in the description, of course. Use my discount code NINI10 to get 10% off your final order. Look good this preseason, my guys. So let's now start with the first story and let's talk Mauricio Pochettino. As we know, he has officially taken over now for the past week, and of course players were getting ready and prepared to start working under Pochettino. Now during the holidays we saw tons of social media clips of players doing their fitness work beforehand because, listen, they've worked with players that have worked alongside Pochettino before. They want to get their heads up. They want to come back ready to right the wrongs made from last season. And of course, they want to make sure they can survive pre-season under Pochettino. Now, last season, our fitness and stamina was awful. Last pre-season was a nightmare. We picked up like 46 injuries last season, and we just didn't have that intensity that we've seen over the past few years. So I'm looking at Pochettino to come here and fix those things immediately, but it seems like in terms of positions he's looking to fix and get new additions for, he is talking and working alongside our sporting directors now, Winsley and Stewart, to find the right attacking targets to sign for next season. Now, as we remember, ideally Pochettino wants to add some experience, with the bonus being Premier League experience. I'm not expecting too much Premier experience, and of course Pochettino is a very flexible type of guy. But right now he's having discussions about adding more experience for our attack, and the two notable names at this point in time include Dybala, names like Vlahovic, and other players like Kolo Muani for Frankfurt, as well as Lautaro Martinez too. And you know what, I would not be surprised if something happened near the end of the window. But obviously, let's start first with Dybala. Now, of course, Pochettino is a big fan. He nearly signed him for Spurs before the deal fell through, and he feels like, you know, Dybala can have influence on the right-hand side. He can play up front when we need to. He can play as an attacking mids, and of course, this guy has an elite, world-class left foot. He's a match winner. He's one of the best players in Serie A. And knowing the fact that you can sign him for around 10 million due to his release clause is a bit of a no-brainer, right? So we're holding discussions around Dybala, but based on the latest reports I've seen coming out from Italy, it does seem like maybe Dybala wants to remain at Roma. He wants to get Roma back in the Champions League. He's loving life under Jose Mourinho, but it does come down to whether Roma can find a new renewal now for his contract, because when they first signed him all those seasons back, you know, they had to sign him on reduced terms and wages. They offer like great bonuses on top though to make Dybala come and sign for them, of course. But Dybala wants to get paid what he's worth. And right now, that's a fee between 6 million with 2 million on top and bonuses. So let's watch the space. Can Roma afford that? Time will tell. And obviously the other Serie A 4 that we've been linked with recently is Vlahovic of Juventus. Now Juventus are a bit taken aback by not the lack of interest, but obviously the lack of aggression from interested parties now. It does seem like Bayern are prioritizing Harry Kane. Obviously Madrid could come in for him, but Juventus want big money to sell Vlahovic, and right now clubs aren't too interested in the asking price. Now we have held meetings with Juventus. That is legit, that is real, that's no lie. But those meetings haven't gone as far as to start discussing things like, you know, how much do you want for him? Let's start negotiations now to buy him. Now, I don't really expect to see a striker signed anytime too soon. You know, let's not forget the previous reports that we discussed and we read. And as we do know, during this pre-season, Pochettino wants to strongly look at guys like Breuer and Jackson. Of course, Breuer has come back earlier than expected from his injury, and of course he has a big reputation here. You know, clubs like Napoli and many big clubs across Europe tried to sign him last summer. So I think it's only fair that these two players get like thoroughly looked at first. And if they don't like make the grade and mark, we still have time to reinforce the area as the window is coming to an end. But anyway, let's discuss some of the pre-season news. As we know, Pochettino wants to only work with players that want to remain here and players that he sees in his future for next season too. That does mean that there's currently two groups. Of course, the big main group consisting of players Pochettino is working with, and a smaller loan group of players consisting of guys like Hudson-Odoi, players that may not have a future here from next season. And obviously, we need to have more focus, care and attention now on our first team players. So it does seem like Hudson-Odoi could be leaving, Lukaku as well too, once he of course does join up for pre-season too. But we have some interesting news surrounding Ian Maatsen. Now, it does seem like Pochettino has told the board not to sell Maatsen right now. He wants to see him first, and I'm really happy to hear this. Last season, in my opinion, during pre-season, he should have been looked at fairly at least, but he was out the door in no time. But you know what, for me, it's simply this. We know that with Pochettino and his teams, he likes those fullbacks to be high and wide, bombing up the field. Let's not forget how he converted Danny Rose, you know, who was a winger at the time, into playing more of like an attacking fullback, and it's a great success. And obviously with Pochettino fullbacks, there's going to be times where they're going to be isolated by themselves. There needs to be positive players that play forward, that can maintain the ball, that can dribble, that can put crosses in, that can be positive in attack. And from a tactical point of view, you know, Maatsen is someone that dominates that entire left flank. And this is a guy that was playing in every position down the left during this time at Cobham. He even played games in midfield and as an attacking mids. And as we understand, for the top clubs like us, clubs that challenge for Europe, you need wing backs and full backs that, you know, have that like midfield trait to their game, you know, that are comfortable playing in different phases of the game, and of course can keep possession too. And right now, I'd say on paper, Maatsen meets those criteria a bit more compared to Cucurella. Now, I don't think Cucurella is a bad player. I know that from, you know, last season. He lost a lot of fans, very critical. You know what, after seeing how guys like Koulibaly came through, and, you know, Cucurella had some decent games for us last season. We can't forget his games against Borussia Dortmund. I would not be surprised if he comes back again with new form, because let's keep things fair and real. Everyone suffered last season. Even if you had a great season last season, it wasn't as good compared to your normal standards. Let's just understand that. So it wouldn't surprise me if Cucurella somehow was able to persuade Poch. We're going to find out during pre-season. But as we do know, we are open to offers if good ones come through. There's lots of loan interest. Atletico Madrid are monitoring the situation too. And in my opinion, I wouldn't be surprised if it was like a, I don't know, Cucurella loan fee, obligation to buy at the end. That could be the play. But I think if he does go, we're guaranteed, of course, to miss out on a ton of money. But it could be offset by the fact that Ian Maatsen, an academy grad now, is coming through into the team. And then you can kind of like swallow that loss, right? So I feel like this news is very interesting. I'm very excited about these developments. Let's start assessing the quality that we actually have first before we start overbuying in positions without actually, you know, trusting the players we have right now. Like, we've given these guys a lot of big contracts, long-term contracts, turned down tons of interest from them as well too. Like, it can't be for nothing, right? So, my friends, that's all things pre-season in Pochettino's first week. It seems like, you know, things are starting to progress really well. And tomorrow I'm going to be releasing 5 things that Pochettino has to do during our pre-season. So do not miss out on that, my friends. So right now, let's end things with the final big story today. And it's a bit of a two-part, because to start with things, we have to talk Datro Fofana, who is now set to be signing for Union Berlin on loan for next season. Now, there's no option to buy or anything like that. Of course, Union Berlin secured Champions League football. They're looking for a top-class striker, and I feel like they're a team that encourages their strikers to get goals. I feel like Fofana going to the Bundesliga, a league renowned for really just like catering towards youth and providing them a platform to shine, whilst having Champions League European football too. You can't go wrong with that. But the only thing with this now is that this supposed loan to Strasbourg, you know, one of our feeder clubs, might not happen anymore, because obviously Fofana turned them down. So now it gets you thinking, what is the solution now? And now let's discuss the final big story, and we talk Elye Wahi of Montpellier. Now, this news from France came from absolutely nowhere is very exciting. And right now, multiple reports in France state we are expected now to make a bid to sign Wahi, and it does seem like bids of over 30 million could be the figure needed to actually sign him, because of course Montpellier understand they have a Wonderkid on their books right now. I mean, he's been playing in Ligue 1 for multiple seasons since he was a teenager. I think he's only just turned 20 years old, and season by season this guy scores more, he assists more, he gets more accurate. Even details like his dribbling, for example, like the success rate. Listen, 1.4 dribbles per game is decent, but the success rate towards them has gone up even more now. And right now, this guy just seems to be on some crazy momentum in terms of his career. Now, I think he got like, 18, 19 goals plus 6 assists in Ligue 1 last season. Absolutely phenomenal. He scored 4 goals versus Lyon. And obviously Montpellier, they don't necessarily play with possession. So of course he has to use a lot of his transition-based skills. What do I mean by that? Obviously this guy is athletic. This guy is very pacey. But for me, the top players also have the intelligence to support their physical advantages. And I think obviously Wahi's ability to just understand space, the positions he finds, how to time his runs too. He's not a predictable type of player, but a defender can easily read him and kind of close him down. That makes him very exciting. And of course, on top of that too, I would say this guy is a bit of a gifted finisher in that sense. Now I feel like one of the reasons as to why is because he has great finishing technique. Like, he is very instinctive. And because he trusts his technique, he will attempt shots that certain strikers won't actually attempt. Now the guy is a first-time finisher too, and most importantly, he's scored a lot of goals where he's one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and that speaks volumes about his composure, because he's that focal point. He's leading the counter-attacks a lot of times, and he has the end product at the end to match the work rate. Off the ball, of course, if you're playing for a team that don't have possession, you must be a dog. Okay, that's what the right words. He's not a dog, he just works really hard and he does his bit for the team. But of course, he's young, he can definitely improve. Of course, he can work on things like his passing. Not that he can't pass, but it's not really encouraged. But if to go to the next level, you need to have it there to a certain degree. And this is where the news gets interesting, because if we are able to sign him, the plan would be to loan him to Strasbourg instead, replacing Datro Fofana. Now, Strasbourg, with him and Jallo up front, that could be very exciting. And if you're a Strasbourg fan, I understand you're still a bit salty by how we've literally bought your football club, and I'm not disrespecting that. Hopefully we can soften the blow, of course, by giving you guys like Franca, Angelo, players like Wahi as well too, because with this type of talent, that could push Strasbourg into European spots, hopefully for next season under Patrick Vieira. But my friends, it's not just going to be this simple to sign him. Right now, Frankfurt are showing a ton of interest, and they're seeing him as a potential replacement for Kolo Muani. So I'm seeing a bit of synergy going on right now. Most deals tend to have that type of synergistic effects, and I don't even know if synergistics are words. It just sounded good as I'm saying it right now. But my friends, I think that's everything to say, really. We're looking to sign him and send him on loan to Strasbourg, but we must make a bid first. And second of all, will Wahi even decide to sign for us? Because he's a hot boy, and he will pick what's best for his career. So if we sign him, then it's exciting times for the future. And it's also a reminder, should we necessarily just splurge on a striker, knowing that we have tons of great talents where maybe in a year or 2 years max, we could have proper quality that's costing us nothing. So my friends, with that note, I'm going to wrap things up, keep things moving. Thank you for watching. Hit that like button if you're happy to see me back, and there should be another video coming out later today, but I'll let you guys know in the community page. So my friends, I'm EFC, this is BlueLionsTV. I'll catch you guys later with some more videos. Cool.